So today we're looking at the max 87 icons. There isn't many. I believe I've counted and there's about 27 icons that you can get out of this pack. It should be around with us tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, it's going to be Thursday, but I'm pretty sure Wednesday is the day that we actually get this upgrade. And there's a few decent ones. We got the same last year. It seems to be that we go this kind of same pattern. The heroes get to max, the icons do. Then they just release it slightly, and then eventually we end up with a full icon SBC. But the 87s that you can get right now, there's a few decent options. Obviously, we've got the normal tier list. We've got the S+, the S, the A+, and the A. And depending on what you get, honestly, I don't think there's not an... I suppose there is always going to be a player that you just don't want to get. And if we was to look through something like Footbin to see the cheapest, I suppose that is where a lot of people do consider the kind of lower pools. So if we get that list up right now, obviously if you are looking along and you've never seen Footbin before, just go into all of the... Go to footbin.com, obviously versions, you go to icons, and then we'll go over to ratings, and we'll just max it out to 87. You don't need to put a minimum. So this is all of the 87s that you can get, and then you can obviously go in price order. So technically, the best one you can get in terms of price is Fernando Torres, and arguably for me I'd say he is the best choice out of these anyway. I 100% would stand by that. I think he is one that I would 100% want, and obviously being a striker, that is what everybody wants. In terms of the lowest price ones, we've got a couple. You've got Ian Rush, you've got Kluivert, Keane, Wright, Larsson, and even then they are coming in at a reasonable value still. Now, obviously, the big thing when we do start to get icon packs is they are released quite consistently then, and you will see the prices drop massively. So already, I'm thinking, if I'm looking at Torres, I don't know if I'd have to go with a normal value here. He's not an S+ striker. He's brilliant in what he is, but he's not an S+. He doesn't compete with Mbappe. He doesn't compete with R9 as of yet. But he has got the finesse shot plus. He's got himself the pace, the shooting, the dribbling. The combination of the base, mid, and prime going in together really helped him because his cards just seem to get weaker and weaker. I don't know how, but it had to be that final Torres was the one that really did the damage. The base and the mid was always just meh, it was okay, especially being an 85 rating on his base just wasn't personally enough. So that's already a nice thing for him from last year into this year again. If you need coins in FC25, lootbar.gg has you covered. They are the cheapest trading platform on the game, 8 to 10% cheaper than any others, 8% off if you use the code JT11 at the end at checkout, plus you get 5% extra on coins, with the fastest delivery system going, used by many FC25 creators such as Zorky, Manny Plus, and even pro owners. So if you need any coins, head over to lootbar.gg, make sure JT11's in the promo code, and hopefully you enjoy. Ian Rush. Now, yes, I would say that you've probably already got strikers that are better than him. In terms of shooting, he is a decent striker. Like, he's not totally unusable at this point in the game. We are 3 weeks in. There, if you've not spent points, if you've not necessarily got lucky in packs, then maybe an icon would always suit your team no matter what. And sometimes the first one can always be that club legend. Likely chances we're going to get a low to medium one, and some people will end up with some of the big boys in this. And to be honest, there is only a fair amount that I'd consider massive pools, and to be fair, most of them are the kind of higher price. Like Zola, fantastic option. I think for him again, he's going to be seen out of your team very quickly, kind of like Torres, but I think Torres could hold on a little bit more. Zola's got a certain position that really works for him, and if your formation doesn't cater to that, then you will find better pretty quickly. Essien would be my second that I'd want on this list. Cracking DM, it's gonna give you everything. Zambrotta, I mean, he would be fantastic for a lot of people. I personally have Walker there at the moment. So in terms of, do I need that upgrade? And like, yes, I will take an upgrade, but it's not a position where I'm like, okay, I absolutely desperately need it. Like a lot of people need a striker, a lot of people need midfielders, including myself. Essien, Makelele, Petit, Rijkaard would all go into that slot 100% hands down. Now, I don't think any of them still are in that S+. I would suggest them to be more of an S, if anything. Definitely with the likes of Essien. Makelele would do the same. And even at this point in the game, I think Rijkaard and Petit would hold their own in it. I think they all are incredible solid DMs. They're not box to boxes. They've all got playstyle pluses that are different. Petit's the only one in this that I'm like, Relentless is just one of them that it's unfortunate that he got it, because you've got block on Essien. You've got jockey on Essien. You've got block on Makelele, and you've got intercept on Rijkaard. The intercept I've used with Conte is incredible for a DM. They block everything. So all of them four options would 100% get my vote in my personal opinion. When it comes to the kind of fullbacks, we're looking at the likes of Ashley Cole, and we're looking at also Zambrotta, like we said. Zambrotta is he down one? There he is. So in terms of rating, 86, it's average. Like they've got a low rating there, but in terms of stats, they're decent enough. Obviously, you've got Relentless versus Jockey. Left back, I feel like, is probably the most crowded position. Capdevia's obviously back in it. Bon Pastor. You've then got Ferland Mendy, Alphonso Davis, Teo Hernandez. There is so many options. Whereas right back, obviously Frimpong, Walker, and then maybe you find a few of the lower end. I'm probably missing someone massive there. Hakimi's not a bad shout, I suppose, but there is kind of lacking right backs in comparison to the sheer amount of quantity we have at left back. So you could argue. Now, obviously, both of them, for the time being, would 100% be in that S category. I think Ashley Cole, 457 in terms of price. Looking at a 3-star, 2-star. He's not my personal favourite. I'd even argue to maybe drop him down one, which actually I'm going to. I think Zambrotta is absolutely clear. Ashley Cole is decent, but I think when you've got someone like Ferland Mendy who absolutely takes that spot, I'm just like, is he really that good, or is it just purely name that you're actually going with there? Then we've got the likes of someone like Vidic. The next kind of few down, we've got Vidic, Barnes, Sol Campbell, Lampard, Pires, and then obviously Hernandez, and we'll start going down. We won't go through absolutely everybody in that sort of detail. Sol Campbell, easy centre-back to go into the S. Very much like the rest of them. At the minute, start of the game, he's going to be wonderful. If you've got a Virgil going next to him, incredible. Saliba, Militao, Arejo, Rudiger, cracking pairing that you can get there. I don't think anybody will have any questions there with him. As the game progresses, he will obviously drop down, and you will need the upgrade from him, which is the same for every icon, in my opinion. You eventually always need an upgrade at some point. When we personally look at someone like a Larsson, I would be looking more towards an A+. It's got the chip shot plus, which is useful in some aspects, but for me, it's not the be-all and end-all of a playstyle plus. Finesse shot will always be the one that you're looking for, and obviously it's got the pace and shooting, so realistically, he's just a good striker at that point, but not quite in that S for me. Looking across the board, Vidic has got incredible defending. It's normally the next upgrade for Vidic that really goes up there. He's kind of one of them ones that if you're very good at defending and you can hold your line, he's fantastic. He's got the defensive ability, he's got the physicality, and to be fair to him, pace isn't all that bad. If obviously Campbell's up there at 81 pace, you can easily, like, it's free away. It's hard to, like, it's crazy amounts, but for Vidic, he's always been quite a stiff build at the start, and then it takes the Galazzo, the upgrade, the World Cup. There's something that just takes him to that 89, 90 rated that really kind of magnifies truly how good Vidic is. Team of the year, another great one for him. Roy Keane, decent, but I'm kind of feeling a bit bog standard with him, especially with him being more of a box to box. And even then, the one thing that kind of nobody will know massively just yet is the amount of roll plus and pluses that you can get. Obviously with Roy Keane being a plus, I'm just not feeling it that much. I think you're going to have to go for something like an Anchor, a Shadow, or a Hunter, when really the engine is what you kind of need for him. You need that agility balance up, and then you need more pace as well. You need a bit more shooting. There's so much that he does need. He needs a massive upgrade really to take him up there when we've got so many midfielders that are on just a different level when it comes to it. So unfortunately for him, he would be in my bog standard upgrade 100% of the time. Power header and aerial plus at the minute is slightly broken. It is very useful because not many defenders have an aerial plus. Obviously Virgil does, but a lot of people don't have it, which is leading. If you've got a striker with an aerial, it's hence why close is so expensive. And then somebody with the power header like Cliver could do some damage at this moment in time. Now, obviously, once we get a patch for it, very much like Suker at the minute, the Travella Plus is going to be incredible. But we've already had news that it is going to be dropping, and they are going to be patching so much. 5 at the back, Travella, accuracy of passing, so and then increasing AI movement as well. It's going to be very interesting to see what the meta truly looks like after this patch again, because it completely changes. Someone like a Pires cutting off on the right, on the left hand side, going in for his right, get that finesse shot on the go. It's going to be fantastic. Now, obviously, his footing is going to be right, so it does help that he's on the left hand side. So it's like kind of how like Salah does it at the minute. That's incredible because we know full well the finesse shot is not as broken as previous years, but you can definitely get that finesse shot working perfectly at times. So that's going to be a nice little attribute that you can go with. Same as power shot. If you get off that 360 turn, it's never going to be awful there. Looking at a few of the rest of them, we've got obviously Crespo with a power header. We've got Ian Wright, very much like Larsson. He's got the pace and the shooting, but chip shot plus isn't unfortunately going to help us with anything. Zola will obviously go into the S. I think there's no question with that. Incredible player, like I say, very specific. And he is a cam, not a centre forward, just so you know. Veron, and in fact, let's go to the strikes. Acrobatic with Trezeguet. Now, obviously, the lengthy nature of him to start with will do really well. Like Luis Hernandez with just the pace, but they will drop down very, very quickly. I give it, once we get into like the Black Friday promo in like a month's time, most of these icons will be absolutely on the floor again. Seedorf, power shot's going to go off massively for him, but unfortunately it does leave him a little bit open. Gattuso, very bog standard as well. Good DM, but he's not quite in the petite Rijkaard sort of category. He's very, very stiff on the ball. And even then with the lower stats, then having the relentless, very much like Petite, at least Petite has the height to really help him with that strength battle. Xabi Alonso, long ball plus, always got to love it. Lampard, power shot plus. I mean, I really don't like him. I'd probably go A for him, unfortunately. The power shot plus could be something that keeps him up there, but for me, I don't think he's absolutely up there. Barnes is definitely an A plus, and then I'd say Veron. You know what, I'm going to go one up because Veron's got the incisive plus. I think that really takes him up that one more level for me. Obviously S plus, there isn't anybody in my opinion that goes near. The only one I think there's two you could argue, and that's Essien and Torres. But when you consider the players that are going to be in that S plus, the R9s, the Mbappes, the Eusebios, the Cruyffs, I don't think he's up there. Essien, on the other hand, I mean, you could definitely argue, but you got Hullet, Vieira, you're looking at potentially, I'm trying to think who else you've got, CDM-wise, because you've, let's have a look. Let's just have a look before we make a sweeping statement like that. If we go back to the players, if we go CDM, I know the icons, but, and then Matthias, obviously, as well. Rodri, no. Oh, you got Matuidi, of course, yeah. De Jong, Tchouameni. I mean, he's kind of better than them, to be honest. Yaya Toure, so I think I'll stand with it, because if you've got Yaya Toure is obviously up there, the height, the build, everything. Then you got Vieira, very much the same. You got Hullet, you got Matthias. I think if you're coming in 5th, 6th, 7th in that role, I don't personally think it's an S plus in my opinion. But let me know down below what you think. Like and subscribe. And when you do get the pack, let me know in the comments, who did you get? Peace.